Loading bay door 3 opened at 1:52:07 a.m. Badge 0599. Access Grano 599 was deactivated 18 months before I ever set foot in that building. The physical badge was found on the floor of Corridor D the morning Ray Hollis was reported missing. It is in a police evidence box. I know because I asked. I asked because that badge opened a door while I was sitting 20 feet away at the lobby desk, watching the access panel flash green. My name is Marcus Webb. I worked night security at Harwick Municipal Convention Center for 31 shifts. Badge 6114. I quit the morning after shift 31. I have not slept more than 4 hours in a row since. Harwick Convention Center is a 6-floor civic building on the edge of downtown. 280,000 square feet of exhibition halls, meeting rooms, a main auditorium, and about 2 miles of corridor depending on which floor you're on. During the day it runs events, conventions, trade shows, city council overflow sessions, high school graduations. At night, between midnight and 6 in the morning, it belongs to one person. That was supposed to be me. I took the job in November. The pay was good for overnight work, and I had done building security before. A couple of office towers, a parking structure. Quiet work. Logbook, patrol route, radio in. Exactly what I needed after my knee surgery. My first night, Gerald Fitch met me at the loading dock. Fitch was the facilities manager. Small guy, permanent coffee in hand, the kind of tired that's been going on for years. He walked me through the control room, showed me the camera feeds, told me where the circuit breakers were. Then he slid a laminated page across the desk. "Ray left you these," Fitch said. Ray Hollis, the guard before me. "Is Ray transferring somewhere?" I asked. Fitch picked up his coffee cup and looked at the camera monitors. "Ray's not with us anymore," he said. "Read the page, follow it, you'll be fine." Then he left. I was alone in the building by 12:08 a.m. The laminated page had 7 rules. No explanation for any of them. No preamble, just the rules, numbered, in a handwriting I didn't recognize yet. Rule 1. Between 1 a.m. and 1:20 a.m., camera channel 9 will show motion in Hall C. Do not respond. Do not enter Hall C. Log the alert time and wait for it to clear. I read that 3 times. Camera 9 was the Hall C overview, the main exhibition floor, 40,000 square feet of open polished concrete, the biggest room in the building. I checked the monitor. Camera 9 was clear, empty gray floor, exit signs along the far wall. I told myself it was probably an HVAC draft triggering the motion sensor. Old buildings do that. Air current catches a dust curtain, PIR fires, nobody's there. For 3 nights I followed the rule exactly. 1 a.m., I watched Channel 9. Motion alert fires, amber light on the panel, Hall C, Zone HC3. I logged it. I waited. The alert cleared by 1:14 a.m. each time. 3 nights, same pattern. I was starting to feel good about it. Night 4, the alert fired at 1:03 a.m. I was logging it when I noticed something on the monitor I hadn't seen before. Faint marks on the floor. Hall C floor is polished gray concrete. You can see scuff marks on it from 50 feet if the overhead fluorescents catch the angle right. Something had crossed the floor. I sat there for 11 minutes watching the monitor, trying to figure out what I was seeing. The overhead camera was too wide. I couldn't tell if the marks were fresh or old. I told myself I'd check in the morning. I logged the alert. 1:03 a.m., HC3. Cleared 1:17 a.m. I did not go in. Night 5. Alert at 1:06 a.m. Monitor. Same marks. Maybe different. Night 6 through 11. Same pattern. I started logging the exact alert times. 1:03, 1:06, 1:04, 1:08, 1:06, 1:05. Always zone HC3. Always cleared before 1:20. I started to wonder if the marks on the floor were moving between nights. I couldn't tell from camera 9. The angle was overhead. The marks were faint. On night 14, I decided I was going to go look at the floor during the day. I put in a note to facilities. Can someone check the scuff marks on Hall C floor during morning setup? Nobody responded. Night 17, the alert fired at 1:06 a.m., and I watched the monitor for the full 20 minutes until it cleared. The marks on the floor were in a different position. Something had moved across that floor between night 16 and night 17. At 1:20 a.m., alert cleared. I went to my logbook. On night 18, I decided I was going to go in. Night 18, alert fires 1:04 a.m. I set down my pen. I walked from the lobby desk to Hall C door 9A. My badge reader, LB reader on door 9A, beeped green at 18:44 a.m. Door opened. Hall C is cold. The HVAC runs year-round to manage the concrete slab temperature. I felt it the second the door cracked. That basement cold, even though we were on the ground floor. I walked in. The overhead fluorescents were on emergency dim. The floor was gray and flat in every direction. I walked toward the center of the room, following what I thought I could see. Scuff marks, boot prints in the dust that had settled between the polished sections. They stopped. Mid-floor, maybe 30 feet in front of the back wall. No door, no seam in the concrete, no drain, no reason to stop. The prints stopped in the middle of the floor. I stood there with my flashlight on the spot for maybe 2 minutes. Then I walked back to door 9A and left. Back at the lobby desk, I pulled up the access log on the terminal. Door 9A, my badge, 1:08:44 a.m., access granted. I scrolled down. Door 9A, my badge, 1 a.m., access granted. 18 seconds after I opened it. I was already inside at 1:09 a.m. The door opened twice on my badge. I had not gone in or out twice. I sat with that for a long time. PIR Zone HC3 had logged motion from 1:04 through 1:19 a.m. My entrance at 1:08:44 was inside that window. The second badge read at 1:09:02 was also inside that window. I wrote it down in my logbook. I did not go into Hall C again. Rule 2. Your 3:15 a.m. East Wing patrol runs in this exact sequence. Loading bay, corridor E, stairwell 4, mezzanine level. Complete them in order. Do not reverse the sequence. This one seemed straightforward. A fixed patrol route, security basics. Buildings have patrol routes for coverage consistency, liability documentation, guard accountability. I did the East Wing patrol in order every night. Loading bay, empty dock, 3 roller doors, smells like diesel and floor cleaner. Corridor E, long white hallway, 7 meeting rooms on each side, supply closets at each end. Stairwell 4, gray concrete stairs, 1 landing per floor up to floor 5, exits locked from stairwell side except at the ground. Mezzanine level, the open gallery above the main lobby, looks down over the main entrance, wrought iron railing along the edge. Every night, 3:15 a.m. Loading bay, corridor E, stairwell 4, mezzanine. Log each checkpoint. On night 19, I was starting the patrol from loading bay when I heard something from above. Not from stairwell 4. From the mezzanine. A single footstep. Concrete sound. That flat, hollow knock you hear when someone in hard soles steps on the mezzanine floor. Followed by nothing. I stood in the loading bay and listened for 30 seconds. Nothing. I decided to start at the mezzanine, work backward. Mezzanine first. Check whatever made that sound. I took the passenger elevator to the mezzanine level. The elevator opened at 3:15:09 a.m. I know because I checked the log later. I stepped out onto the mezzanine. Empty. Exit sign, wrought iron rail, the lobby below me. I walked the full length. Nobody. I came back down, did stairwell 4, corridor E, loading bay. Wrote up the patrol log as normal. 3 days later, I requested the camera 14 footage from night 19. Camera 14 covers the mezzanine level from the west end, full width overhead. The footage showed me stepping off the elevator at 3:15:09 a.m., walking the mezzanine east to west, and returning. It also showed someone entering the mezzanine from the stairwell 4 door at 3:15:09 a.m. Same second I stepped off the elevator. The figure from stairwell 4 walked east to west across the mezzanine. Same pace I walk, the same route I was walking at the same time, in opposite directions. We should have met in the middle. The mezzanine is not wide enough for 2 people to pass without noticing. On the footage, we do not meet. I watch it happen and I cannot explain it. The corridor E PIR sensor log for that night, zones E1 through E4, shows them firing in sequence at 3:16 a.m. Loading bay to mezzanine direction. Original order. I was walking the route backward at that exact time. The sensors recorded someone walking it forward. Step 26, Part 1 Iwantan. If you find a cup, any drink in the main auditorium seating area during your rounds, photograph it in place, log the seat number, and leave it exactly where it is. Do not move it. Do not throw it away. The main auditorium at Harwick is on floor 2. Seating capacity 1,800. Fixed seats, theater style, sloping down toward the stage. It is not part of my standard patrol route, but the rule referenced it, so I included it. Night 1, 2:30 a.m. I walked the auditorium aisle. Row C, seat 22, paper coffee cup, medium size, lid on. One of those folded paper cups from a generic concession machine, the kind where the lid folds back at a tab. Nobody had been in this building since 11 p.m. I photographed it. I logged it. Row C, seat 22. I left it where it was. Night 2, row F, seat 8. Night 3, row A, seat 31. Every night a cup. Different seat, same cup size, same brand, same folded lid style. By night 10 I had a pattern. The cup moved every night, always a different location in the auditorium, never the same seat twice. I started keeping a seating chart. On a piece of paper, I had sketched out the row seat grid. I plotted each cup position. By night 20, I could see it wasn't random. The positions were moving in an arc, like something was tracing a slow curve from the back of the house toward the center. By night 35, the arc was completing. By night 43, I could see where it was going. Row M, seat 14, dead center of the auditorium. Every seat in the trajectory had been visited. The path was leading directly to row M, seat 14. On night 47, the cup was in row L, seat 14. 1 row back from the destination. I logged it. I took the photo. I went back to the lobby. I sat there thinking about what I was going to find on night 48. Night 48. 2:30 a.m. I walked into the auditorium. Row M, seat 14 was empty. Every seat in the auditorium was empty. No cup anywhere. I checked every row. Took me 15 minutes. Nothing. I went back to the lobby. Night 49. I came in at midnight, signed the log, started my rounds. At 12:18 a.m. I set down my radio to fill out the equipment check sheet. The cup was on the lobby security desk, right next to my logbook. Between my logbook and the equipment check sheet, both of which I had placed there when I arrived. The cup had not been there at midnight. I had a camera feed on the lobby desk. Camera 1, lobby overview. I pulled it up. The footage showed me arriving at midnight, placing my logbook, placing the equipment sheet, doing my equipment check, walking toward the elevator. No cup on the desk at midnight. At 12:17 a.m., camera 1 shows me walking back into lobby frame. The cup is already on the desk. The cut is seamless. Nothing moving. Nobody approaches the desk. Between 12 and 12:17, camera 1 shows the lobby desk unoccupied. At no point does anything approach the desk. The cup is not there. Then it is. I stood and looked at it for a long time before I picked it up. Lid folded back at the tab. Lukewarm. Not hot, not cold. Like it had been sitting for 20 minutes. I thought about the new hire orientation video. Harwick had filmed it 2 years earlier. Standard stuff. building layout, equipment protocols, shift expectations. Ray Hollis had presented it. He was on camera for 22 minutes. Fitch had made me watch it on my second night. In the video, Hollis is sitting at a desk, not the lobby desk, a different one, and he has a paper coffee cup beside him, medium size, same brand as the cups in the auditorium. The lid is folded back at the tab, the same way. I did not tell Fitch about the cup on the desk. I logged it as night 49, no cup in auditorium, cup found on lobby desk, 12 to 17 a.m., photographed, left in place. I moved the cup to the corner of the desk and left it there for the rest of the shift. In the morning when Fitch came in, the cup was gone. Rule 4. Badge 0599 is permanently deactivated. If the access system ever logs 0599 opening any door, go to the lobby desk immediately. Do not approach the door. Radio dispatch. I found out about Ray Hollis on night 6. I wasn't supposed to. Fitch hadn't told me anything beyond Ray's not with us anymore. But I did a search of the building's old access logs. You can pull them from the management console if you know where to look. And I found Hollis's badge record. Badge 599. He had been the night guard for 4 years. Every night, his badge access record was exactly what you'd expect. Lobby entry at midnight, patrol checkpoints through the shift, lobby exit at 6 a.m. Right up until the night his record stopped. His last complete shift was 18 months ago. The morning after that shift, a day crew security supervisor found Hollis's badge on the floor of Corridor D near the junction with the B wing. Hollis's car was in the parking lot. Hollis was not in the building. He had never been found. I looked up the police case number. The badge was logged as evidence. It was in a storage box at the city evidence facility. I called and confirmed this, told them I was following up on behalf of building management for insurance documentation. The clerk confirmed, badge 0599, evidence item logged in storage. It had been there for 14 months. Then on night 31, 1:52, 7 a.m., it opened a door. Loading bay door 3. I was at the lobby desk. The access panel lit up. Priority alert, red. I stared at it for maybe 3 seconds. Then I went to the lobby desk. I was already at the lobby desk. I picked up the radio and called dispatch. Dispatch answered. I told them, access alert, badge 0599, loading bay door 3, 1:52 a.m. Dispatch said, Marcus, we're not showing any alert on our board. I said, it's on my panel. Red priority, 0599. Dispatch said, our system is clear. Hold on. 30 seconds. We've got nothing. Your panel might be glitching. You want us to send someone? I said no. I logged the event. At the end of the shift at 6 a.m., I pulled the physical access log printout from the management console. The log printout is a separate system from the digital board, a dedicated printer connected directly to the door reader hardware. LBD 3. Badge 0599, access granted, clear as any other entry on the page. I held that paper in my hands for a while. Then I looked at camera 11. Camera 11 covers the loading bay interior. The footage at 1:52:7 shows an empty dock, roller doors closed, concrete floor. Camera 3 covers the loading bay exterior. At 1:52 a.m., camera 3 goes to static. 11 seconds of static. Returns at 1:52:11 a.m. The access event falls inside the static window. Rule 5. The freight elevator is not in service during your shift. If it arrives at your floor while you are waiting for the passenger elevator, take the stairs. Do not ride it. The freight elevator at Harwick is a service car, big enough for a loaded pallet, painted gray interior, slow. You access it from a separate lobby on each floor. It's not the same bank as the passenger elevators. I had noted on my first walkthrough that the freight elevator lobby on floor 3 had a small sign, out of service. I assumed it was broken. I never thought about it further. Night 8, I was on floor 3 finishing the meeting room check. I went to the passenger elevator and hit the call button. I heard the freight elevator, not the passenger elevator, the freight car. Distinct sound, slower motor, heavier cable rattle. It was moving, rising from below. I heard it slow and stop. Freight elevator lobby is 20 feet down the hall from the passenger elevator bank. I heard the doors open. I stood there and listened. Nobody got off. Nobody came down the hall. I walked to the freight elevator lobby. The freight car was there, doors open, empty, fluorescent interior lights on, cold white, concrete floor. In the center of the floor, one boot print, wet, like someone had stepped through a puddle. The rest of the elevator floor was dry. I did not get in. I took the stairs. The next morning I went to the building management console and pulled the elevator call log. The freight car was called from B level at 3:04:17 a.m. B level is the basement storage and utility level. It has been locked and out of service since a flooding event in 2019. The building management file says a pipe burst destroyed about 4,000 square feet of stored materials. The B-level door is padlocked from the stairwell side. I checked it physically on night 9. The padlock was intact. Combination model, no keycard reader. No B-level entry in any access log ever. The elevator call log also showed freight car returned to B-level at 3:06:44 a.m., 147 seconds at floor 3. I looked at camera 17, the freight elevator lobby on floor 3. The footage shows the elevator doors opening at 3:04 a.m. Nobody gets off. Nobody gets on. The doors close at 3:06 a.m. Camera 18 is the interior car camera. For those 147 seconds, the car interior is empty, except for the boot print. The boot print that is not there when the car returns to view after the doors close again. It is gone. The floor is dry. If the building PA activates on its own at any time during your shift, do not use the intercom to respond. Mute your radio, count to 30 seconds aloud. If it stops before 30, log the time and go on with your rounds. If it is still active at 30, call dispatch. The PA system at Harwick is a distributed speaker network. Ceiling mounted, covers all floors, all rooms, all corridors. It has a single control panel in the lobby behind the security desk. On nights 12, 18, 23, and 29, the PA activated on its own, each time between 4:09 and 4:13 a.m. Each time I followed the rule, muted my radio, counted aloud. It stopped before 30 every time, between second 14 and second 22. Ambient sound, I couldn't hear anything specific through the speakers, just a low carrier hum. I logged each one, PA activation, time, cleared at second count. On night 34, the PA activated at 4:11:08 a.m. I muted my radio, I started counting. At second 9, the speaker above the lobby desk produced a single word. Marcus, then my badge number, 0614, then silence. The carrier hum dropped. I was at second 9 when it cut out. I stood there with my hand on my muted radio. I did not call dispatch. I pulled the PA activation log from the building management console. 9.2 second activation. 4:11:08 to 4:11:17 a.m. I knew the voice. I had watched the orientation video on night 2. 22 minutes of Ray Hollis on camera. He has a specific cadence, a slight pause before numbers, like he's reading from a list. 0614. Same pause before each digit. Hollis had recorded that video 4 months before he disappeared. He had never been in this building during my employment. His badge was in an evidence box. I sat at the lobby desk until 4:30 a.m. before I trusted myself to continue rounds. The PA log showed one activation, 9.2 seconds. No source input logged. The system should log the input channel when activated. Intercom button, emergency broadcast, scheduled PA, or manual panel. The field said, Step 3/6. Part 2, Iwan Ton. Rule 7. The door at the end of corridor D, marked B storage 12, is always locked. You do not have the combination. If it is ever unlocked when you reach it on your rounds, do not open it. Return to the lobby and call the building manager's emergency line, extension 4400. Corridor D runs along the west side of the building on the ground floor. It is not a main corridor. It is narrow, service width maybe 5 feet across, bare concrete walls, cage lights along the ceiling. It connects the loading area utility rooms to the B-wing access point. I pass through it on my 1:45 a.m. utility check. It takes about 4 minutes to walk end to end. At the far end, the corridor terminates at a door. Steel frame, gray paint, stenciled label, B storage 12. Combination padlock, civilian model, 4-digit, black. Every night I checked it on my way through. Every night the padlock was closed. I tried the combination 000 once out of idle curiosity. It didn't open. I didn't try again. Camera 22 covers corridor D from a position about 30 feet back from B storage 12. Wide lens, you can see the door clearly. I had requested the camera 22 archive footage going back as far as the system held, about 6 weeks before my start date. In those 6 weeks, nobody appears in the footage. Nobody passes through corridor D between midnight and 6 a.m. The door never shows any light from beneath it. Nothing. I also pulled the door contact sensor log for DS12. Door contact sensor registers open or closed. For the entire archive period, 6 weeks, DS12 logged closed every minute of every night until night 31. Night 31. I need to take it in order. 1:45 a.m. I start my corridor D utility check. I walk the corridor. At 1:51:44 a.m., I reach B storage 12. The padlock is open, not broken, not cut. The shackle is released. The padlock is hanging through the hasp with the shackle open, like someone put it there after spinning the combination. The way you hang a lock when you're going to come back and reuse it. I stood in front of that door for a long time. The DS12 contact sensor on my phone app was showing open. That meant the door itself was not fully closed. Or the sensor had tripped. The padlock was hanging loose. All I had to do was lift it off the hasp. I did not do that. I turned around and walked back to the lobby. I picked up the lobby phone and dialed extension 4400, the building manager emergency line. It rang twice. A recording picked up, Ray Hollis's voice. "You've reached Building Management Emergency Services at Harwick Municipal Convention Center. If you're calling about B storage 12, I held the phone very still. Don't open it. Go home. That's the last rule." A click, dial tone. I set the phone down. The recording field for extension 4400 in the building phone system directory listed it as Building Manager After Hours, active since 4/17, 4 years prior. Hollis had been recording that line for 4 years. He had known about B storage 12 before he wrote those rules. He had recorded a rule specifically for this moment. I sat at the lobby desk for 11 minutes. I looked at the access panel. Badge 599. Loading Bay Door 3. 152.7. Still showing in my panel log. I thought about the boot prints on Hall C floor. The double badge red on door 9A. The second figure on the mezzanine walking my patrol route in the original order while I walked it backward. The cup on the lobby desk. The wet boot print in the empty freight elevator. My name through the PA. Hollis's voice. The access log that dispatch couldn't see but the printout confirmed. I sat at that desk for 11 minutes. Then I stood up. I told myself I was going to check the camera. I told myself I was going to confirm the padlock was still open and then call dispatch again. I walked corridor D. At 2:03 a.m., I reached B storage 12. The padlock was still hanging open. I lifted it off the hasp. I put it in my jacket pocket. I opened the door. The room behind B Storage 12 was approximately 12 by 14 feet. Bare concrete walls. One cage light on the ceiling, already on. The smell was dry, not musty, not wet. Just old air, like a room that had been sealed for a long time and then recently opened. I stood in the doorway. In the center of the room, a desk, not a storage desk, a security desk. Same model as the lobby desk, same dual monitor setup on the left side, same black logbook format, open on the desktop, same radio mount on the right side, empty mount. The monitors were on. The left monitor showed camera feeds. A grid of 8 thumbnails. I recognized camera 9, camera 14, camera 22. On camera 22 I could see corridor D. I could see myself, standing in the doorway of B Storage 12. I was on camera. I was watching myself on a monitor inside a room I had just opened. The right monitor showed the building access log. Scrolling slowly, shift records, badge reads, door events. My badge, 6614, and its 31 nights of entries scrolling past. I walked to the desk. I looked at the logbook. Handwritten entries, same format as mine. The last entry was dated 14 months ago. The handwriting was not mine. It said 15207 LBD3, badge 64, access granted, my badge number, tonight's timestamp. Loading bay door 3, not badge 599, my badge. I looked at the camera 22 feed on the left monitor. Corridor D empty, the doorway of B Storage 12 empty. I was not in the frame. I looked at the monitor, the doorway was empty. I looked behind me at the actual doorway. Corridor D empty. The corridor lights, the cage fixtures, the gray walls. No one there. I looked back at the monitor. The doorway was empty. I looked at the right monitor. The access log had stopped scrolling. A new entry appeared at the top. 319, BSTG 12, badge 0614, access granted. The timestamp was the current time. The door contact sensor DS12 had logged my entry. I know what Ray Hollis left me. 7 rules in a room at the end of a corridor that knew I was coming before I got there. His badge opened a door that night. The printout says so. His badge is in an evidence box at the city facility. I've called twice since I quit to confirm it's still there. It is. Last week I called again. The clerk was the same one I'd spoken to before. She said, "Mr. Webb, we've had this item for 14 months. It's in the box. It's not going anywhere." I asked if anyone else had called about it. She said, "Just you, and a man about 18 months ago, right after it was logged in. He wanted to know if we'd gotten it." I asked his name. She said, "He didn't give one. He just wanted to know if the badge was secure. We told him it was." I asked what he sounded like. She paused. "Tired," she said. He sounded very tired. I quit the morning after night 31. I signed out at 6:05 a.m. I left the access log printout, the one with badge 599 at 5207, on the lobby desk where Fitch would find it. I took the laminated page, 7 rules, Hollis's handwriting on the original version, Fitch had said. I put it in an envelope. I addressed it to the next person who takes the job. I have not mailed it yet. Memory line. Ray Hollis left me 7 rules. The access log shows he broke every one of them before he disappeared. I know because it's all in the printouts. His badge opened every door I was told to avoid. The building management directory still lists extension 4400 as active. I don't know who updated the recording. I don't know whose voice Hollis used as his own. I know what it sounded like. I know what it said. B Storage 12 is still in my logbook as checked. Locked. I wrote that on every night, including night 31. I don't know why I wrote it. I think some part of me needed it to say that. I still have the padlock in my jacket pocket. I haven't taken it out. I don't know if I can put it back.